special presentation.
From the Captain eSports Network.
'23 of the wildest races you can be a part of, and tonight is the 24th and final race, the 4th in the Gen 6 class, in what has been a pretty crazy Masters of the Draft series from the National Association for Stock Car Virtual Racing. Tonight, though, is a little bit different. Tonight, we don't just do a simple 200 or 250-mile race. Tonight, we go 500 strong miles as we get ready for the race that is, well, it's sponsored by Wise Guy iRacing Graphics and should be the Wise Guy iRacing Graphics 500. However, Scott Wise, Lauren Wise, and everybody decided to do something that I appreciate very much as we get ready for the Captain eSports Network 500 here at Talladega Superspeedway. Here, I am the captain. We appreciate you joining us on this Tuesday evening as we get ready to go racing. Qualifying is actually beginning right now as we get done with the practice session, and cars will get out here on track and for the final time this season qualify for the Pole Award presented by GB22 Designs. Of course, if you're looking for paint designs and so on and so forth, hit up our good old buddy Joe Wells for some pretty cool paint schemes as cars are out on track here for 2 laps of qualifying. The Gen 6 car, of course, this car ran up till the 2022 season. As we see a lot of cool looking cars, cool looking paint schemes here tonight. Seeing a lot of, I don't know, people are, I think, testing the waters. I look at this as one of those where people, I think, are doing this to try to pay like a thank you to me or something like that. But I don't know. I think we've had one other time this year somebody actually put the captain on the car as a sponsor, and they went to victory lane. So is this one of those where I'm already seeing one? There's 2. There's like 5 cars here with captain paint schemes. I mean, all of a sudden people were like, "Hey, this is how you win this race. We put the captain car on. Why not?" Greg Thompson there in the 08 car. Dylan Rosenberg here tonight. Good to see him back. Drift is here, which is cool. Got a pretty good field of guys here ready to go racing for the 500 miles here as Thompson to the ball. Oh, that's going to mess his lap up. He's still got a pole lap, but that's going to probably hurt himself with getting all types of loose there in the tri-oval. As others come across the line, Steven Melnick in the 1 car. He goes P3 now after Dusty White knocks him off there for a quick second. Look at that, another captain paint scheme. That's actually pretty cool. Greg Thompson still the pole sitter, even though he about wrecked it over in turn in the tri-oval. A lot of guys still coming to complete their second lap. Here is the 47 of Brian Hayes. As he will cross the line. And Brian goes to the pole. 50-27. On his second lap matches Joe Wells, but must have him by like the thousandths or something. It's funny, that FF on his car kind of reminds me of a logo of a sponsor I once had when I was racing on iRacing. So Thompson falls to third, drift fourth right now. Shane Ward, and let's see who else we got here on track is AJ Condon, or I'm sorry, Al Likens completes a lap. Gilbert's completed his 2 laps. Dylan Picklesheimer still out there to get on track. Tim Shiflett stops. As Scott Wise goes to the pole, 50-27 himself. That's 3 50-27s, and then Greg Thompson with a 28. He probably would have gotten a pole if he doesn't lose the back end in the tri-oval. Notice the logos on Scott's car, all the leagues that have broadcasted on there. Let's see, what is it? GLSR, TI, Sim 500. Of course, this one, heck, the DPRL days. Meanwhile, my wife's looking for her phone. That's what you're hearing in the background. I think she found it. Okay. So Scott Wise right now, one of 3 guys with a 50-27. You still got Picklesheimer and Tim Shiflett to complete laps, so they are not going to get their laps in. So Scott Wise going to be the final winner of the GB22 Designs Pole Awards. Congratulations to Scott. Heck, technically, you can give it to Brian and Joe. All 3 of them, the pole sitter tonight, but one of them got to start first. And it's going to be Scott Wise. That just tells you right there that all 3 of them were within 1/1000th of a second of each other. Or I should say 1/100th. There we go. That's the proper way of saying it. So, all right, let's get you set up here because tonight is championship night, the final race of the season, not only for the Gen 6 block, but also for the overall Masters of the Draft tonight. That'll be crowned. Let's take a look at the point standings. And let's start with this Gen 6 block. Greg Thompson hasn't won yet. However, he's been the most consistent guy, and I think the biggest number, you look over in the second column to the right. That is the bonus points. 61 bonus points. When you look at it, that is almost an eighth of the amount of points he has total in this block of racing. That's how he's able to have a 5-point lead over Travis Gilbert. Jason Branch is right there in third. And I think it's pretty much those 3 guys. Now, you could argue if Scott gets a max amount of bonus points tonight, he could be in this still. So you could say Scott's on the border. Otherwise, I think Joe Wells is likely out. James Hudson, and if you're over 100 points, forget about it. But, hey, you're still running for the win, right? When it's all over with and all said and done. Overall points, kind of modified this a little bit so you could see the top 10. I know it's usually pretty stretched out amongst a group. So the top 2 are the 2 you need to focus on. Joe Wells and Travis Gilbert. After Travis's 7th win of the season last week, he'll obviously have the most wins clinched here this season. He's only 50 points behind Joe Wells. Shane Ward, as he's been most of the season on his own island. Jason Branch there in 4th, and then Scott Wise 5th. But look right there, 4th, 5th. You can even throw 6th in there. And then look at 7th and 8th, and 9th and 10th. There's a lot of close battles amongst other racers for position here tonight in the overall. So tonight we'll crown that champion in both the overall and in the Gen 6 block here of racing for this Masters of the Draft presented by Vet to Track. So let's go back through the schedule here a little bit and let's show you where everything went down this season. Of course, the trucks had their first block of racing. That was won by Joe Wells when it was over with. Then you had the Gen 7 block of racing that came up after that, and that was actually clinched by Travis Gilbert. And then the third block of racing, the 87s, went at it, and after a pretty good show there, and of course I'm trying to go off the top of my head here, so I might get this wrong. You know what? I think Joe actually won both the first two, and then Travis won the 87s, if I remember correctly. It was then the I'm losing my mind. Anyways, Gen 4 was Dylan Picklesheimer, as you should write things down. Note to everybody if you ever want to do this. And then, of course, the Gen 6 block where we are now. So all those racers that have done a pretty good job for the most part. It was Josh McKinney that got the Xfinity block. So that's how it all got set up. I got it right. We're there. We're here. Anywho. Meeting should be about done. I know there was kind of an important piece they were going to touch on tonight in the meeting amongst the teams and stuff. Yeah, it looks like everybody's kind of spread out already, but obviously Lauren's not here tonight, so unfortunately going to miss Lauren again, but she's been hardworking, as always. And if we get a chance, we'll talk to Scott before we get the green flag here when it is all said and done. But 188 laps tonight. The stage is a little different. Obviously, if you go back to the last fall's Talladega race, it was 60 and 120 were the stages in real life. Tonight, it is actually 38 laps, which is exactly 100 miles, and then lap 94, which is the 250-mile mark, the halfway point. And after that, it'll be 250 miles without a stage involved there. So you're going to see likely some green flag pit stops, could see some yellows. I know one thing I've been doing is kind of talking to him a little bit, trying to help him out, because as those who have been around me know that I love endurance racing like this, and know that when it comes to me being on the track for this kind of racing, have pretty good results, including 2 iRacing Daytona 500 wins, and even an Indy 500 win last May. And yeah, I've normally averaged about a top 5 to top 7 finish when it comes to these long races like this at that track specifically, or whatever. Almost won Bristol a couple times, almost won Charlotte a couple times. There's a lot of almost in there, which doesn't count unless we're playing horseshoes and other games. All right, so we're 5 minutes into practice, a warm up here before we get going, and it looks like Scott's in his team channel here. So let's bring in the driver of the 31 car. He's also the I'm not going to call him the boss man. He's the assistant boss man, I'm going to call him, because Lauren's the boss. Let's all be real and be honest here. But Scott, congratulations on the GD22 Designs Pole Award here this evening. Obviously, you and the team, they're running a bunch of Richard Childress paint schemes and stuff, which I think is kind of cool. And obviously a lot on the line here tonight as you run 500 miles. And more importantly for you, trying to get yourself the max amount of stage points to have a shot at this championship in Gen 6.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you, Chris. Yeah, the Gen 6 block has been real good for the Pork Ranch Motorsports team. Got 3 of us in the fight for the championship. I need a little bit of help to get up there, but yeah, I kind of noticed the schemes be a little more specifically. They are all actually Dale Earnhardt Sr. schemes from different points in his career.
Correct.
And then just kind of wanted to make sure that the team showed how much we all appreciate everything you've done for us and all the other leagues that you've done for. I don't know if you noticed all the little quarter panel logos that we got on there or not, but yeah, it should be a fun night.
No, I did notice that, and that's obviously really cool to see all those different leagues on there, the ones of past and current times and stuff like that. How tough is it going to be for you to balance? Because we were in that conversation earlier in Discord that kind of, was me kind of talking to those about like this kind of racing when it comes to long style. But yet tonight, I said the most important lap's 188. But for you, it's almost like the most important lap is lap 38, 94, and 188.
Oh, for sure that put myself in the best position. Obviously, the extra points for getting the pole help, but yeah, to put myself personally in the best position. Yeah, I kind of got to work the stages, but at the same time, if winds up working out better, that I help my teammates to get the block championship for the team with Greg and Jason. We're going to do everything we can to see if we can make it a TWM 1, 2, 3 for the last block of the year.
There you go. As you guys been the late bloomers here for the season. As, of course, you had the GLM guys at the beginning, TNT in the second little part, and now you guys here in the third part. So it's been pretty cool to be a part of and watch. Well, best of luck here, and let's see if we can get you a victory to finish it off.
Oh, it would be nice. See if I can keep my streak of multiple wins this season going here.
Got the Kyle Busch streak going here. I like it. Well, best of luck, bud.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Scott Wise, the co-owner / pole sitter here tonight, as well the GLM guys are laying burnout over there and pit roads. That's interesting to say. But yeah, we're getting ready to go in about 2 minutes here. Let's take you trackside, opening ceremonies, and the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, anthem is all done. You see the smoke just about to clear from the pyro or somebody doing a burnout as we get ready to go here from the 2.66 mile Talladega Superspeedway. Got a pretty good size amount of cars here. They'll have the one reset, and they'll have 100% fuel, I believe it is, to get them to the end of stage one, which is actually going to be very interesting. If this does go green, the 38 laps, can you save enough during that time to get into the window to get to that stage? Because remember, there's no stage breaks. All you got to do is get to the lap 38 mark. And obviously at that point, get to pit road and get tires and fuel. But what's the other important part about lap 38? Well, that just happens to be the 100-mile mark. Yeah, if you can go 100 miles on a tank of fuel, well, you do the math. That's 4 stops to get to the 500-mile mark. Pretty simple math, I would say, but we all know how math goes. All right, take a look at the starting lineup for the Captain Esports Network 500. Scott Wise on the pole. Brian Hayes with a great P2 effort. He got himself a win this season. After predicting that he would not get a win in that race, he went and got the win at that race in Daytona. The top two in the overall point standings, Joe Wells, Travis Gilbert. Teammates from G Lightning will start 3rd and 4th. Greg Thompson and Drift back in the track here, starting 5th and 6th. Greg, the points leader in the Gen 6 standings. Row 4, Shane Ward and Dylan Rosenberg. Shane's wife dropped the spoiler to Shane earlier today, and Shane, one of the few that sent me, which, again, I did not put myself, up to this because I'm not that kind of person, but did actually throw a happy birthday to me. But that's one of the rare times I will actually say that part. All right. The cameramen are having issues here. Anyways. AJ Condon, or Al Likens, I should say, Jason Branch there, row 5. Row 6, AJ Condon, Ryan Wilson, Dusty White, James Hudson, Stephen Melnick, and Josh McKinney in row row number 8, row 9, Sam Taylor and Dylan Picklesheimer, Tim Shiflett, the last of the 19 cars that are about to go for 500 miles. 84 degrees, pretty warm out there. Sweet Home Alabama's playing on the screen. Stage is at lap 38 and 94, which is the halfway point. No cautions again for the stage break. Partly cloudy skies. All these cars ready to go. Cool looking paint schemes. This car, a lot of suck up on it with the drag from the, I'm going to say Dale Jr.'s quote, the big ass spoilers. But they are set to go as the pace car pulls off for 188 laps of action. Scott Wise, Brian Hayes bringing them to the green as they work their way into the tri-oval. Best idea at this track is just let the green flag wave. You never want to get too big of a start because you will get eaten alive like the cake I ate earlier. Green flag, here we go. From Talladega, the Captain Esports Network 500. Our cameras tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. The immediate question I have to ask, how patient are we going to be? This could turn out to be a long green flag race. We could have cautions in the end. And right off the bat, you see Joe Wells giving the push to the 3, to the 31. And he immediately wants to go to the outside. Had some good conversations with Shane Ward, Travis Gilbert out there in chat just earlier today. And there's the wife checking in as Joe Wells leads lap 1. Maybe I can, we'll see before she falls asleep. Maybe I get Lucy on the air with me. We'll see. That means we're watching over in the room. As Wise side by side with Wells, Steele Thompson right there. Everybody in this pack except for Tim Shiflett doing Tim Shiflett stuff and losing their draft. And I say that kind of sounds mean because it's like, okay, is he actually falling back out of the draft? Yeah, he is. That's what he does. He will purposely fall back and just kind of let the wreck happen if it's going to happen and get himself back into play. Look at the inside row. That's where you see if I can play the paint schemes in my head here. You got the old Chevy Lumina paint of Scott Wise from Dale. You've got the Greg Thompson's got the, well, you know what? Let's do this really quickly because I want to make sure the paint part is right. My Better TP app again is acting up, so let me just hit Control R. I do have Trading Paints on in the background. Obviously, Drift's got the gold Intimidator car that he ran in the All-Star race. Wells clears with Gilbert and Al Likens. Add the 5 in there of AJ Condon clearing. The blue, red, and white car, that's the AC Delco car, obviously. And then the orange, that's the Wheaties car back there on Jason Branch. Dale car. And Gilbert leads that lap. But if you'd asked me my favorite Dale paint scheme all time, I think I'm up there with a lot of people that would say the Peter Max car, which was the one with the multiple colors. So 18 of the 19 cars here in the draft. Melnick back there, last car in line is Al Likens. 25 National Guard car. Hi, sweetie, by the way. Actually said hi to you. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Okay. So Alan Gilbert side by side, Shane Ward, Joe Wells as we ride with the 39 car. Look at that, Josh McKinney, the Wrangler throwback. That's what that one is. Dan Taylor and the Chase Elliott little Caesar car. There you go. She called some laps. You heard it right there. She's got the same personality I have, Case. You opened yourself to that one, buddy. That's probably a good thing. Dylan Picklesheimer in a 12. See. Leads the 47, who's fallen back there a little bit. Dusty White back there in the 11 car. Is that the Denny Hamlin paint scheme from this past week that he's running? We got Dylan Rosenberg, the 91. Obviously, the Rusty Wallace back in the 2. Yeah, let's go send a link to the Facebook page. Just been a reminder. Yeah, feel free to share your link out to whoever. Let them know. They can come and join as we watch Shane Ward go to the lead. There you go. Just shared it out to the Facebook people. So see who jumps on board. They get a golf clap. So top 3, not able to really get away from the pack. You're not going to see much separation with this car. I mean, until like something maybe almost like a wreck happens or something like that. Otherwise, it's very easy to draft right back up. And when you're on a wide track like this, obviously the handling doesn't really come into play. You'll take 4 tires each green flag pit stop. Over under yellow, and of course I say that and the cars start to spread out a little bit. It's like they're, hey, let's prove him wrong. Ryan Wilson topside now in at 23. He was kind of skeptic about how his race might go here tonight. But as you know, 188 lap race. To finish first, you got a first finish. The best thing to do is just give yourself room here. Just put yourself in a position. Yeah, they're going to push each other. They don't want to do it in the corner. Probably not a good thing. Don't do it in the corner. Yeah, pushing up here in the straightaways, yeah. 24 cars pushing to 5. There you go. Color commentary right there. So 9 laps complete. You got 6 cars up in that top group. Everybody, like Tim Shiflett hanging out in the draft here. Melnick's back here in my lane. This is where I want to be. I try to explain this to people, and people just, I usually get the argument of like, this is boring. Okay, I get it. But I've pointed this out before. If they're going to wreck in front of you, if they wreck, what's the best situation you can have? Well, simple as this. You see the wreck happen, and then you look behind you, and there's nobody to hit you. You just jump on the brakes and stop the car. You put yourself in a perfect position for later in the race when all of a sudden, hey, you're up front and you've got a perfectly looking car that's able to go win the race. Does it work all the time? No, not necessarily. I said, look at it, 3 wide up there. You always want to aim high in steering. And what that means is kind of a delivery term that I've learned, but it works here in iRacing. You don't want to be looking at the backwards as Camping World or Camaro on Dylan's car. You want to give yourself room to where you can see up in that pack. You want to see almost at a front car up there and see everything going on, like them two about the wreck rate up there at 4th. If you're able to see the whole entire track, you have time to maneuver and back yourself off to avoid the wreck. But a lot of people like to, as you call it, drive the hood of their car. And when you do that, it's not aiming high and steering. And I think the tandem's coming alive here. These two have driven away the old two-car tandem here. Are we going to get the traditional switching 1 line here? Switching 3, whatever that we used to say in the tandem racing? That's Picklesheimer. Oh, 1 car to shape. Hold on there. Yeah, here we go. Getting loose. James Hudson, glove saving a beauty. Up, he's still trying to save it. Looks like everybody able to avoid Hudson there, but now he's in trouble. And this is going to single file everybody out. See if we can catch what happened there. Got Gilbert pushing. Oh, he gets in. Oh, yep, got him out of shape. Remember, there's a bump over there in turn. Oh, yep, Thompson got the wall a little bit there. But Gilbert, there's a little bit of transition there in turn 3 because it's actually, believe it or not, makes sense of this one. Talladega doesn't have tunnels going into the track. You actually bring the cars in off the back straightaway over the road. Saved by Hudson as Dylan Picklesheimer leads. Let's see this again. Watch, they're going to go over that part of the track right here. It's kind of a darker shade. Right there. That's where they look. See how they both went in the corner and the car got jacked sideways. Drift almost getting the wall. Appreciate you guys watching. We're hanging out here tonight. For those curious, and I'm not trying to get you guys to go create additional channels and things like that to try to boost my views up or anything like that. But the record for viewers in a race, and I think Casey, you were there for that, I believe was 54? If I remember correctly. And I believe it was an All-American race. Daytona, matter of fact, as I think about it now. I know TI had one race where they had close to 50-something. GLSR had a race with 50-something. And that was for the finale. And I remember a whole bunch of baseball players from Northwest Ohio were watching that. Josh McKinney goes to the lead here with 15 laps in the books. As Brian Hayes pushes Picklesheimer to the lead, Dusty White up to 3rd. Saw everybody go single file for a second. The Kings can get shuffled as the 25 of Al Likens, the 9 of Sam Taylor up there by themselves. A lot of people find themselves in a spot where you get into a debate with people, and look, I respect everyone's opinion about super speedway racing. I totally get the whole, well, if you're not up here racing, it's boring. Or you want to be the person leading the most laps. Or, you know, I don't get to run well a lot in races. This is my chance to get up there and win. I get all those serious. But it goes back to the whole logic. And it's just, like, when I say logic here, I'm going straight to logic on this one. In order to win a race, you have to finish in the lowest amount of time possible. I know it sounds like so, like, old schoolish, but it's true. Winner of the race is the first one.
Thank you, sweetie. Did you want to talk to the people?
No. Anyways, it doesn't matter how you do it. I mean, when a tortoise raced a hare, the hare tried all the tricks, tortoise ended up winning. As Picklesheimer leads. Of course, you got the points battles on the line here. Gilbert's led a lap, Joe Wells led a lap, so that's kind of balanced itself out. The stages here, you still got the halfway point. And you can't help but wonder who's saving fuel in this pack. You know, who can make it? Who can't make it? Tim Shiflett here is about to go lap down, unfortunately. 40 seconds back. He's about to start the finish line here, so Pat comes into the tri-oval. As you're starting to see the TNT guys kind of team it up here. Picklesheimer's going to back off a little bit, and that 37 car is going to get connected. I'm being told that the cars are a little louder than the captain. All right, that happens sometimes. You can turn them down a little bit, or I can turn myself up a little bit. Thank you very much, Bliss. Appreciate it. It'll happen. Those cars are loud. Probably should be a little bit better now. Oh, that you heard. So here's Shiflett here. He's going to go lap down. So he's definitely going to hope for a yellow here. Shiflett not going to do what Daniel Suarez did at Talladega last season. Not the smartest move ever. So 17 cars here in the lead draft. 20 laps already complete. We're just past the 50-mile mark here in the Captain eSports Network 500, presented by Wise Guy iRacing Graphics. They're going to be the presenter of the stage winner, of course. Coming up here in just 18 laps in this Masters of the Draft Series, which is always presented by Vet2Track. For those who don't know who Vet2Track is, they're helping veterans get out there on track with help of some motorcycles on a track. A really cool deal. Not only that, but helping veterans who battle PTSD. Talked to a guy I work with today whose father, unfortunately, was a fighter in Vietnam and battles to this day with PTSD and stuff. And you can't help but feel for those people. And Travis Gilbert wears that number 22 on his car because 22 veterans a day commit suicide. And here, ironically, on lap number 22, we want to continue to thank those who fight for this country and encourage those. You see a veteran today, make sure you thank them. And tell them that we appreciate everything that they do for this that they did for this country and stuff. Single file line all the way back. Front 4 cars, all part of that TNT team, and then it's the 4 cars of the Torqued Wrench guys. Then you got the Dylan Rosenberg car. Who we got here tonight? Let's throw some shout outs out. We got, of course, Drift, who always says hi before the race. Eddie Rorty watching. Apparently loves Joe very much. Of course, Jason Clark, the Canadian gentleman, who is ran a whole lot of officials. I give him a lot of crap for running officials. It's kind of funny. Clark's here. Telder's here. That's my wife Ashley. She's over here singing. Bliss watching. Casey Carrington watching. Lucy's probably watching. Lucy just lost her second tooth. Probably a good reason for me to stay up a little later tonight doing a broadcast. I gotta let Tooth Fairy in later. Alright, so it looks like, you know what this might be right here. When you're the lead car in the pack, you're always burning more fuel, right? So what better way to save fuel? Well, you do a little bit of a tandem move here, and that's where you just saw Hayes and Picklesheimer jump to the front here. So now Al Likens and Sam Taylor there in that 9 car, they can now kind of back off and not be pushing the air, and allows them to save some fuel here. So kind of like you see in the Indy cars with the Indy 500, you see a lot of that kind of tandem move to save some fuel. I think it's kind of a similar move we just got there out of the 12. So that's where it is right now, though, with Picklesheimer up front. But I think the more further back you go, looking back here at like Ryan Wilson, Travis Gilbert, Stephen Melnick, these guys back here, this is where you're getting the most fuel burn. See if we can put some speed up here. I'm not sure yet, so it doesn't really give us for any kind of throttle trace or anything like that. That'd be kind of cool if we had that. And you know what? While I'm here with this, let me throw a shout out to SDK Gaming. Obviously tonight, with it being going to be the last race with SDK and stuff. And I'm going to throw this out there right now. If you ever want to do some streaming or looking to use some kind of telemetry, turn to SDK. Yes, there's a subscription. It's a very small one. You know, and even if I have to give you my name to get you a little discount because of what do they call it, like a recommendation or whatever, I'll be glad to do it. But it also works when you're racing. You can set it up your own way to have fuel and everything on your car and stuff like that. It's a really cool deal. And for somebody that is a one-man show like me, I'm literally doing everything. All my timing and scoring that you see up on the screen is right here. And if you're a road racer, believe it or not, they have stuff for that too. As a matter of fact, let me go through it a little bit here as we race. I'm going to turn off some of my stuff here. And believe it or not, as a very loud airplane flies over, the timing tower, which is this right here, that you see sometimes I'll show with like pit road or the finish of the race. This is basically set up for a road race. This is how they do all the road racing stuff with all the different settings and things. And there's actually a new setting in here. And for those who are fans of the old World Endurance Championship, I'm going to give you guys a little simulation of this real quick. I'm going to hit one button. And it's kind of off, a little jacked up a little bit, but it just allows me to have all these different looks and things on the track. It goes by time. So there's settings and everything that you do to move it all around. That's a really cool deal. I actually have my own little right there. But they have different like settings you could do, and I know a lot of people liked it. Didn't like when I swapped to the ticker that I have now, because I had kind of an addition to this. Might look familiar to a lot of you guys. As we watch Scott Wise, here comes the Torque Wrench guys to the front. With coming up 9 laps to go, 8 to go this time by. I actually blissed, believe it or not, a league that I raced in on Monday nights about 3 years ago with Drift, as a matter of fact. For a was it a throwback paint, I think? Yes, it was. It was a throwback race. I ran the M&M's car. We actually got to choose like sponsors and stuff. I actually ran a Little Tykes throwback. My car looked like the red and yellow one, and I had M&M's on the car. Had the yellow top with the red doors and everything around it. It was really cool. If I could find a photo, I'd show it. But yeah, so going back to this though, I'd suggest for those looking, I mean, there's so many great ones out there, from Sim Racer apps to Race Labs, all that good stuff. SDK right up there with them. And they help you. They got their own Discord page and everything. So that's my little endorsement for them. The caution free here so far, 31 laps in, just about to the 100-mile mark. The question again, who can get to lap 38 and make sure they can get to the finish of it? Tim Shiflett on pit road now at lap 29. But Tim unfortunately lost a draft earlier, and that has really hurt him. And now they're going to be coming up on the back of James Hudson. Matter of fact, they've lapped him. There's James in a 2 car who, of course, had that big save a little bit ago. The pink and green scheme. Where am I seeing that? Are you talking about the Little Tykes car? Sorry. Might be dumbfounded there for a second. I'm looking out here on the track for a pink and green. I'm like, wait a minute. Who's got the wicked paint scheme? Shiflett leaves pit road, and he's going to be now 2 laps down. And the bad news with James Hudson, 1 lap down, the lucky dog is pretty much out the window for him right now. But he does have a full tank of fuel now, so if he can stay out here for a little bit, and these guys come back to pit road and he gets a lap back, he could get the double banger here and not only get a lap back, but then become the lucky dog. Oh, okay, I got you. I was confused for a second. It's Bliss39 saying that he personally raced with pink and green, not on iRacing. He had the wicked paint scheme. Can I call it that, right? "34 laps complete, first ever Talladega race." For those who didn't know, was oh, here we go, leaders to pit road. Not making it to lap 38. Hold it on there, boys. Oh, Drift hits the inside wall. There's a wall there, Drift. Branch with a good entry. Greg Thompson, I'm confused. Is he the 08 or the 80? One side he's the 08, next side he's the 80. Top side he's the 40. I'm kidding. And so here we go. 4 cars on pit road, all from Torqued Wrench, getting their pit stop out of the way now. So, this is interesting. Does that mean the rest of these guys can't make it? And I'm seeing 4 tires and fuel from everybody here. Who saved enough? As more cars to pit road, Al Likens, Brian Hayes, Picklesimer, Taylor. This is the bunch from the TNT group. Jason Branch, speeding penalty. As he leaves pit road right now. 54-second stop. So Branch in trouble. That's going to really affect his point run here as these guys get out. Want to try to be as organized as possible as we come to 2 laps to go in the stage. Now, I wonder, of course, my racing mind is coming to play here. Who's got the Frankie Stoddard strategy from the 2002 All-Star race where he pits Jeff Burton and at the start and right before the start finish line and just crosses the line on pit road and wins the stage or wins the money for the segment in the All-Star race? Let's bring up the old school line here. Where's the start finish line at Talladega? It's past pit road, right? So if you can get to the end of next lap and come down pit road, get your tires and fuel, what do you have to do? You just cross the start finish line and you could win the stage. Interesting, because I believe the rule says you got to be on track to finish. You're technically on track, are you not? This is going to be an interesting point here. Let's see what happens. Final lap. Is this what we're about to see happen here? Dusty White, Shane Ward, Josh McKinney to pit road. That leaves 6 cars here. Do we have a loophole potentially here? They think they can sneak that past me. Ha ha ha. Of course, oh, somebody's smoking here. That's Brian Hayes, and well, you know what? They're gonna try to. You know what? Gilbert's gonna get around Joe Wells here. That's an interesting move and a team move to help Travis Gilbert win stage 1. Presented by Wise Guy iRacing Graphics, and you know what that did? That just lapped Gilbert. Pretty much just became the points leader in the Gen 6 block because of that. Thompson is gonna get. Once he gets back here to the start-finish line, he's going to get, it looks like, 3 points. And Gilbert getting to 10. That officially did just put Gilbert up into the points lead of the Gen 6 block from that team move right there. And surprisingly, that team went all 100 miles and proved me wrong with that strategy. Now they're going to come to pit road, but now I just kind of opened Pandora's box to an idea from somebody. Oh, there goes the 5. AJ Condon with a glove save and a beauty. But who might try that later on? Come to pit road and, I mean, look, because here's the line at the end of pit road. Start finish line is right here on the screen to the bottom. So 4 tires and fuel for all these cars here. As across the line comes Scott Wise and others. Brady Kurowski, everybody. So they might have won the stage, but it looks like they're going to pay for it here on the pit stop. As I think they even slowed down a little bit on that last lap of the stage. We'll have to see if they're able to work the packs up here, but now here we are. We got 6 cars up here in this lead draft. 28 car Jason Branch is a lap down in the 14th position. And Dylan Picklesheimer's got your next group of 3. He has Taylor and McKinney. Of course, McKinney being a teammate to Gilbert and those guys who are right back behind them. So I would likely see this pack here join up with this other pack to try to work the leaders in. So don't be surprised you see eventually these guys all come together into one pack again. Eventually here down the road. Jason Branch, speeding penalty, as I mentioned. Shane Ward caught with a speeding penalty. Dusty White caught with a speeding penalty. And then Brian Hayes, a 25-second stop for him. So he must have had to use the bathroom or something. I got nothing on that one. McKinney actually falling off of these two cars is kind of helping out the pack behind them. There's Joe and Gilbert and those guys here. They should be able to push each other down the straightaway. You see the back of Gilbert's car, the bet the track battling PTSD one lap at a time. Of course, Talladega Superspeedway used to be, back in the old heyday, see if I can get you a good view of this. Back in the day, this was actually an airfield. I can't remember which branch it was. If it's Naval or Air Force, but basically you see the dirt that's going to be in the infield here, different little strips. Those are landing strips for planes back in the day. And of course, Talladega wanted to pay homage to that, so they kept those strips in the track itself. And that's what the dirt layout you see in the infield, or the former landing strips from back in the 1940s and 50s, especially during World War II. You'll get a good look at one here. You'll see the orange clay or dirt right about there. There's one little piece. There's another piece right there. But a really cool history of the track there. Of course, there's a dirt track at Talladega right down the road, where I'm not sure if he's still doing it or not, but legendary Red Farmer, Hall of Famer, still racing there. Other history about this track, in case you never knew the story, did you know that there was once a NASCAR driver that actually stopped racing at this track? And what I mean by that is he literally pulled off the track and said, you know what, I'm done racing. And basically it was because he heard voices in his mind telling him to stop. That is a true story. And that driver was Bobby Isaac, by the way. Basically, Bobby Isaac told his team owner, Bud Moore, at the time, to get a relief driver. And basically, he said he heard things telling him, like, get off the track. Don't race. And, well, they got a fill-in driver. He pulled off the track and so on and so forth. Well, the crazy part is Bobby Isaac would return to racing at a race at Hickory on a short track, and unfortunately passes away 4 years after hearing that voice of a heart attack in the middle of that race. You can't make this stuff up. Where's the 33 car? Good question. Is there a 33 car? I don't think there is, Eddie. Yeah, there's no 33. You are the 33. Why aren't you on track? So as I mentioned, those cars are together again, back on track. As these guys try to catch the lead pack of cars here, it's 10.3 seconds from Drift, which is the third car in line there, back to Travis Gilbert. as these guys try to catch up. The only thing that's kind of hurting this group back here of Joe Wells and others from catching the leaders is these couple lap cars. As you got the 39 of Shane Ward, the 11 of Dusty White. They're back here trailing this pack along with Jason Branch, and they're pushing along. So this train of 6 is able to maintain their distance over the next pack. And this is going to get interesting because now you're kind of forced hand here as everybody is spread out to have to work with each other. Like these 6 cars are going to have to work together. The other 6 cars are going to have to work together. And that's where you could see the pack spread out more and make this very interesting. But the Torqued Wrench guys doing a great job working with each other. The front 3 cars there, front 4 technically, but Branch is a lap down after a speeding penalty. Drift doing okay after sucker punching the left front to the inside wall on pit road. Dusty White's just kind of hanging out there. That's what he's doing in that 11 car. And here's your second pack of cars. All back here rolling together. Here's AJ Condon. He's got Ryan Wilson there behind him. You see those two out there on track, and then it's another 20 seconds back, and they're actually about to go a lap down. As Al Likens and Tim Shiflett back here. Tim's already 1 lap down, about to lose a second lap as we complete lap 51. So when this happens, you're actually only going to have 12 cars here on the lead lap as Race Fan 1973 checking in. And again, appreciate the viewers hanging out here. If you get a chance, feel free to pass the link out to some friends and family. If you know some people that know who I am or whatever, share it out there. If they want to watch some racing here tonight, feel free to do that. But 51 caution-free laps here so far. And there have actually been caution-free races here at Talladega. Notably the 2001 spring race. That saw Bobby Hamilton go to victory lane. That was a caution-free race. Of course, now at stage racing, that whole caution-free thing goes out the window. Oh, one car out of shape. Dusty White all of a sudden got loose there and is able to save the car as he continues on. Hey, calm down with that. I think we're supposed to actually get a little bit of snow here in Indiana tomorrow. We were supposed to get some, I think, Sunday, but never happened. Let's see what happened to Dusty here. I looked up after checking a message, and I saw the 11 car tank slapping over in turn 3 and 4, I think it was. See if I can find where it happened here. Somewhere right in lap 51. Maybe I won't be able to find it. Maine. Some great drivers that came from the main area. Of course, most notably Ricky Craven. And also most notably known for Oxford Plains Speedway here on iRacing. Scott Wise, Greg Thompson, Drift, Travis Gilbert, Joe Wells, your top 5. Picklesheimer, Sam Taylor, Josh McKinney, Stephen Melnick, and Dylan Rosenberg. Your top 10 is Lucas Strayer. Hold on. Luke, did you say free beer? Cheers. Forgive me, Casey. Yes, TI team champion Stephen Allen, Dusty White with more issues. Oh, and he's wrecked over here in turn 4. And caution is out. What in the world? Caution waves here for the first time. What just happened? This looks like a black screen issue or something. I mean, Dusty's playing ping pong here. I have no clue what just happened here, but this looks like a black screen. Not able to see anything, obviously, and down to the inside wall again. A caution out for the first time. This is going to bring everybody back together again. As Daryl joins chat. Daryl, yes it is. Pack going to come together here and should see pit stops. And here we go. Everybody who's on the lead lap here. And even looks like lap cars. Race off pit road. Scott Wise going to be first. Thompson, Drift, Gilbert. It looks like. I'm going and taking 4 here. Under caution, I'm taking 4. Especially long ways to go in the race can set yourself up for later. Great question, though. You'll get some cars, maybe get damage fixed, and this is the perfect time all right, this is the one time for drivers who like to run these kind of races in NIS and stuff like that you can actually go to the bathroom. Get your 4 tires, jump up, go to the bathroom, stretch your legs out, whatever you got to do. Just make sure you're launching off pit road before the pace car is within 4 seconds of you. Because it'll get everybody all stretched out and ready to go for another 58 laps or so. Scott Wise, Thompson, Drift, and Gilbert See if anybody comes back to top off. I would. That's pretty much the majority of the cars here. You top off from here, you go green at 60, you get to at least lap 98. And of course, as you know, the end of stage 2 is lap 94, so you're easily from here able to go to the end of stage 2. Daryl, I appreciate the kind words there. Obviously, the good news is I am one of 1,000 different streams out there that you can watch, and I know everyone's different and that kind of thing. I kind of did a little bit of a live video earlier, and I'll do one more tomorrow. I don't want to use the league's time here and talk about some things on on streaming and broadcasting and stuff like that, but I would be lying if I said at this moment that my views of broadcasting and stuff like that have changed from what they used to be. I've always enjoyed this. I've always made it about the leagues and about the viewers and stuff. I've always been wanting to talk to you guys and talk to the racers when I can and things like that throughout races. But when it comes to goals and what people do in their streams, it's when you step back and you kind of look at the whole periscope, I guess, or the whole realm of broadcasting and stuff when it comes to streaming online and that kind of thing, and even into real life, it's not the same anymore. As here we go, Scott Wise, Greg Thompson, Drift, Picklesheimer, and Ryan Wilson going to come to the green. You notice everybody in the inside lane. That is because those are the cars that all topped off. And they had to start in the inside lane due to the rules as Wise. Oh, interesting. That's a lane switch. I'll have to see if that gets called or not. Not sure if Lauren's here or not, but boy. Oh, one car getting out of line there a little bit. 47. As far as I know, in the rule book, you cannot switch lanes until you get to the start-finish line. Let's see. Let's watch the 31 here on the bottom. Takes off. Hey, Scott's actually on pit road. He's coming to pit road. So drive-through penalty for the 31 right there for the lane shift at the restart. Hands the lead to Greg Thompson. I can only imagine if anything was said in chat when that happened. So Scott will rejoin. He's still in the lead lap. He's going to need some help, though, from a yellow. As the two cars going to go to the front of James Hudson. Unfortunately, though, James is still a lap down. Jason Branch got the lucky dog and is actually already back up to the 8th position there. 4th car outside lane. 3 wide. There's Gilbert up the middle. Trying to get Rosenberg up the track to try to lose his momentum, but it looks like Gilbert's going to fall back in line. They're behind the 91 car. Of course, this is a perfect opportunity for a lot of cars to reset after maybe a mistake on pit road that caused them to lose the lead draft. Getting that yellow there helped them out. That's what, 6, make that 6, yeah, 6 cars we'll call it. Single file. And that's Brian Hayes there, another lap car back in the 16th position. Trying to put himself back on the lead lap the hard way. And then outside lane getting a push from the 5 of AJ Condon as Branch gets himself shuffled out. But he's going to jump back in line here with his teammate Gilbert. I'm sorry, I'm getting Branch mixed up. Branch, I'm sorry, is a teammate to the Torque Wrench guys. Lap times around Talladega at 48 seconds, just shy of 198 or so miles an hour. Big thanks to all the drivers and viewers for hanging out and watching the stream here this evening. Of course, this is the Vet to Track Masters of the Draft. And a big shout out again to Vet to Track for what they do to help veterans get an opportunity to get back on track and do a little bit of racing themselves. Yeah, specialized motorcycles and stuff. Of course, they sponsored the whole entire season. Oh, Thompson, hold on. He and Drift got crossed up. Good save by everybody. That could have taken out a lot of cars. Everybody going to be able to regroup. It looks like nobody's going to lose the draft because of it. Matter of fact, everybody keeping pretty good speed after that. That, as some people will say, was a Code Brown moment. See if we can get you a look at this again. Watch this. You'll see the 4 of Drift. That is Drift. Oh, and caution is out. Caution. Let's go back. I didn't have the right replay anyways. And a perfect break for a couple of cars here. And I'm looking for the yellow. And I do not see said yellow. Oh, right there, Drift gets turned. Drift goes for a spin over in turn 4. Bringing out the second yellow of the night. Drift did some drifting. A little help there, and Joe gets a little bit of damage. Very impressive. So, lucky break here for Scott Wise, James Hudson, and Al Likens. All three of them getting their lap back. James and Al did it the hard way. Scott, of course, able to stay on the lead lap from the pit stop. And we'll have another chance to live again. Lucky Dog should go to Shane Ward, I would believe. As the leaders come back to pit road again. Thompson going to win the race off pit road. Fuel only for him. Looks like maybe fuel only for a lot of guys. But once again here, 4 tires and fuel would be my call. I mean, I know track position's track position, but long race here, set yourself up 4 tires here, and if you go green the rest of the way, you can eventually, as you get towards lap 100 or so, when you come back to pit road again, actually be about lap 105 or so. You could try the 2 tires if need to at that point, and you can almost alternate 2 tires at that point the rest of the way. But hey, the reason why I'm in the booth, not driving. So as Greg Thompson leads the race on pit road, I'm going to step away and give myself a little break here for a second. We'll come back. Stream's going to stay going, obviously, here, but we'll get to the green flag here in just a moment. Back at lap 71 as we get ready for the green flag. Greg Thompson, Ryan Wilson, Dylan Picklesheimer, Sam Taylor, Dylan Rosenberg, your top 5. And, we'll have a little fun with this. Maybe a couple times tonight, depending on how many cautions we get. But for the first time tonight, as we come to the green flag, shall we turn it up? Taylor, Greg Thompson battling out right now. Teammates pushing each other. Picklesheimer pushing the 9, 28 pushing the 08. 23 and 24, they're running that third lane, or a third row, I should say. Oh, look at that third line. Al Likens, oh, he pushed himself into the wall there a little bit. For the 25, but he's able to keep going, but lose a lot of momentum, a lot of speed there. Is all of a sudden now going single file here in these first 2 rows. Now first 4 rows. You need to see the bumping and stuff going on. Look at the 1, Stephen Melnick. He's been kind of riding a little bit. Racing starting to pick up just a little bit here as we get towards the end of stage 2. Here are 19 laps. Final opportunity for anybody to get stage points the rest of the season. Thompson, who's looking to win the final block of racing championship here in this Gen 6 car. Admitted back at the beginning that he loved this car, and he definitely has showed it. Pushing Jason Branch to the win at Daytona. And getting himself the most bonus points here on the seat on the block of racing. And here he is tonight, leading now. across the line before Drift now leading. Scott Wise cutting down, and that's where you see that team coming to play now. But look who's here in third, just now a lap down a few minutes ago. Matter of fact, 2 cars right there in the middle groove. Well, now Hudson's having a little blinker issue, but the 25 and 2 back up here in the top 5 after losing a lap a little bit ago with some pit stop issues. Now with another shot. So it makes Superspeedway racing interesting, is the fact that you get back on the lead lap, you have a chance. Just ask Tim Shiflett, who is only now 1 lap down after being 2 laps down just a little bit ago. And he's the only car lap down now as Dusty White's out of the race and will finish 19th. Shiflett a chance to get himself back into this race. .79 laps in, just past the 200-mile mark in this race. Now, there have been some anxious moments. Otherwise, for the most part, this race has been fairly clean. Couple of solo car spins have been the yellows, and that's been it. I'm pretty sure if we get past that lap 94 mark and get into the second half of this race, that's when it's really going to get interesting, I think, here. And that's when you'll see the racing pick up. And that's where I think you're going to see the action really go max. Trying to see the fastest lap of the race, and what I see, it looks like Josh McKinney, a 47.28. That's the fastest lap of the race. That's over 200 miles an hour. As look at Likens blocking grooves. No! Wow, what a save by both of them. Drift and Likens. And they still keep going. Drift's going to go up there and give out a little bump. I don't know if I'd do that in the corner. But to be able to save that car and not wreck or not cause a wreck, that was impressive right there. Watch this bump again coming up. I think it already happened here. I want to check here. It'd be on the back straightaway if so. If that's the next lap. So let's back up a lap here. Watch this. Get the right replay here. The drift obviously pushing the 25 down there in the bottom lane, but watch, they're going on the back straightaway here, and you're going to see both. You might even see the numbers on the side of the car here. sure. Either way, though, that's twice now we've almost seen bump drafting turn into a wreck. And look who's back up front. Got the caution he needed as Scott Wise leads after his restart penalty. He had to come to pit road under green for a drive-through, able to work his way back out, get the yellow, and now all four torqued wrench cars to the front. The team championship already settled, with the G Lightning guys winning that in a pretty dominant fashion. With this last block of racing, torqued wrenches turned it up and put themselves in the running to have one of their drivers win the Gen 6 championship. Appreciate all the viewers for hanging out here this evening. It's final night of the season for the Masters of the Draft, the Captain Esports Network 500. Superspeedway fan or not, I have to admit, for this league, it's one of the more creative ideas that I've seen anyone come up with when it comes to an iRacing league. I think has been some fun racing. Unfortunately, some tempers and stuff, and some upset drivers at times, and things like that. But we've seen a mixed bag of winners. I mean, Gilbert did get 7 wins out of the 24 races. Could make it 8 for 24 tonight, but as I say, to see the racing we have and the surprises that would come up from racing at Monza to the iRacing Superspeedway to the old Daytona, new Daytona, and then Talladega. It's been fun to be a part of. Gets himself a lap led here with 7 laps to go as of right now in stage 2. Starting to see some more pushing, some more cars scattering around here. The racing picking up. No problem for anyone to make it to the end of stage 2 on gas. That last caution. Any car that would be questioned, if I see this right, would be Brian Hayes. Hit at lap 56, took the wave around. 56 obviously, and 38 would get you to 94. Gilbert won stage 1, looking to win stage 2, and if so, would give himself even more of a separation between he and Greg Thompson. Of course, Thompson entered a 5-point lead over the 22. But in stage 1, the teammates worked itself out and got Gilbert to the front, where they crossed the line and won stage 1. Turn 4. Gotta get yourself in the right position right now. It's almost a simulation to the finish of this race, even though we're on a simulator. You know, do what you got to do here to try to put your car in the right spot and learn, so that you know at lap 188 here, you know, make the right move and put yourself in position to win. AJ Condon doing a good job. Josh McKinney doing a good job. Picklesheimer on the outside doing a good job. Of course, Wise back in this picture. Al Lyken back in this picture. As we cross the line, 3 laps to go in the stage. As Condon gets shuffled. He is going to get picked up by Shane Ward, but has already lost a good 2. Oh, and here we go. Couple cars come together in a wreck. Nobody's turned side. Finally, Thompson goes around. I was going to say, nobody spun. Sam Taylor's car is destroyed. Saw a lot of cars juking and jiving. Caution comes out as we get ready to get to the halfway point. And in the end of stage 2, let's see what happened. Contact up in the top groove. Nice job by the 23 to miss the 08. That could have been bad. The sheet metal going around, and that just, it turned into a clump of cars that all of a sudden finally somebody wrecked. It looks like it started around the 9 of Sam Taylor here. Let's see. Crash cam here. Oh, pump draft gone wrong. And only got some damage too. Interesting development here. We come back live. Leaders on pit road. Scott Wise going to stay out along with Melnick, along with Branch. So as we come to... Looks like here's the 2 to go mark. Scott Wise, if he stays down here, which pits should be closed, will win stage 2. For he, Melnick, and Jason Branch going to be big points gain here as Gilbert's going to roll out and he'll be 4th. He'll give up the 3 points to have a fresh tank of fuel. Viewers watching tonight. Appreciate everybody hanging out. If you're new tonight, we welcome you in and say thank you. Okay, let's to a driver here as we get ready to come back to the finish of stage 2. Let's talk with... Let's talk to Rose. Let's talk to First Crown really quickly. Stage 2 winner, Scott Wise. And that, of course, presented by Wise Guy iRacing Graphics. The Wise Guy himself with the Stage 2 win. As mentioned, it's the guy who calls himself D. Rose. And I've always picked on him like, you are no Derek Rose, young man. Let's get Rosenberg up here. Hey. What's up, buddy? Yeah, long time no talk to. So, obviously doing a pretty solid job in the old camping world car. You've been kind of camping out a little bit, looking to park that camper in Victory Lane. I totally understand. Hey, these are my kind of races right here, so you're learning the captain way here. But hey, a viewer question. A guy named War, you might know him as Casey, asked how he celebrated Steve Melnick night. It's funny. Nice. Hey, bud. Good talking to you. Have fun. You too. I appreciate it, bud. Dylan Rosenberg running in the 9th position as we come back to the green. Lap 96, officially starting stage number 3, which should see 392 laps to go. Divide that by 2. That's 46. So we're looking at 2 stops. What? Did I really do that to... Yuck, it wouldn't fit perfect unless I had a muted mic at one time or another. That's great. He said that they celebrated, by the way, Dylan said. First off, he said he's never run a 500-mile race before. And he said he was having fun with it. And then he said they celebrated with Chris Lewis tears. Was his words. So sorry about that. But it would be a good captain stream if I didn't miss somebody's microphone sometime. Just like old times. As Gilbert brings that outside line across the start-finish line. Ooh, easy up there in that outside line. Easy. Yikes, McKinney and Picklesheimer all types of sideways back there. And for those watching, by the way, you guys see this guy War down here? This is Casey Carrington. For those who don't know who Casey Carrington is, one of the leagues I broadcasted, All-American. One of many leagues that I had an opportunity to broadcast for that I will sit here and simply say one of the best leagues that's ran. So, shout out to Casey. And by the way, Casey's also popular for this guy. This right here is Casey.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain eSports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
He did that unscripted, like straight up. Just bam, one take, I think. Joe Wells up there with his teammate. Did I see somebody blow up? I thought I saw smoke. I think I'm seeing things. TJ Condon, unfortunately, has fallen out of the draft. You will get the last word. This is a true statement. The final words you will hear will be, well, I am planning on doing a quick video tomorrow just to say thank you to everybody since it's going to be late. Then again, if this race gets done quick enough, I might have a chance to say goodbye tonight. I was thinking it'd probably get done after midnight. But might not. We might make it before midnight. We'll see. Two cars off the track now officially. James Hudson and Dusty White. Yeah, Sam Taylor, who is currently a lap down, just ran the fastest lap of the race in his second car. I can believe that. Most commercials are like that. Casey's saying that the clip is sped up radio commercial style. Believe it or not, a lot of those kind of clips, I mean, you ever hear a car commercial where the guy's like, Sunday. I mean, the guy reads it at regular speed. Maybe sped up a little bit like in his voice, but then he just fast forwards it really quickly. Josh McKinney, champion of the Xfinity car, pushing Travis Gilbert out there to the front. And look at the 47 of Brian Hayes. He's back on the lead lap. Al Eikenson, look at the fifth car in line. There's Sam Taylor in his new car. The new car. Unfortunate lap down. He's got that car hot and ready. Ready to go to the front. Trying to get that lap back. He's used his one reset, though. So he's got to be very careful if a wreck happens and he's involved. He's got regular damage to work on then at that point. A lot of cars haven't had to really use the reset tonight. But the beauty of this is there's still 86 laps to go. That was almost Jeff Goldblum sounding. Anybody notice that? Maybe it was just me. Ooh, Sam Taylor's got a new car. Oh, well, look at the 6 laps to go. I mean, anything can happen. Something like that. Go check out my home website. Which reminds me, tomorrow night, gonna go see with a buddy of mine, gonna go see Frank Caliendo. If you've never seen this guy in person, you got to. This will be the second time I've seen him. Funny. He's a voice actor, for those who don't know. He does different voices. If you've never watched, like, the NFL and stuff, he usually does, like, the John Madden and stuff. Oh, my gosh. Hilarious. Taylor trying to pull that inside line, but Gilbert doing a good job of getting that outside line rolling with McKinney up there. How about Shane Ward, the third place car? Wonder how much advice Shane's actually taken from me when I was talking to him earlier today. You know what? Credit these guys. It's been a lot of patience. It's literally been right at the end of stages where you've seen like some of the argy-bargy, if you will, come into play. Otherwise, it's been fairly clean. I would expect it to probably stay that way again for another 60 laps, and I think you'll really start to see everything pick up again, or at least after the final pit stop. Which at this rate, lap 93 to 38 from that, you get to about 131 or so. Which then gets you up to about 170. So about 18 laps to go. So yeah, I would expect close to that final pit stop's when you're going to see this action really pick up. Everybody been fairly respectful to each other tonight. Haven't seen really any blatant moves or too much aggressive racing. I mean, you see some contact issues that have happened, but that's super speedway racing. You're going to have that. We got 4 of the 5 GLM guys up there in the top row with Brian Hayes following. Then you got the 37 cars I've referenced a few times this season there with Picklesheimer and Al Likens. The TNT guys, Sam Taylor behind them. And then you got the Torque Wrench crew kind of coming together back there. And you heard when we talked to Rosenberg a minute ago, which you didn't hear, but I did, say his teammate tonight is Stephen Melnick, and he realized Melnick didn't have a team. Everybody doing a really good job of just kind of riding it out. Big shout out. Let's go back here to the 15th position. Remember I talked earlier about if he got the caution at the right time. Tim Shiflett is on the lead lap. Oh, he might lose a draft here again. In the 15th position. He is in contention to win this race, believe it or not. Might be one of the more unorthodox ways of losing the draft and losing a lap and stuff like that, but he's made it work. Gilbert running more of a middle groove, and I think he's trying to slow up the 25's run with the 12, but Lycan's still going to lead that lap. And Tim Shiflett did lose the draft in the end, unfortunately, so he's going to need some more help here. And I'm just going to say this, if he gets a caution before he gets lapped, I want him in my corner if I were to ever race again, just so I know when the cautions are coming. Oh, easy. Well, 22 look like out of shape a little bit. Some great maneuvering right there as Gilbert went up to defend the outside lane. Likens crossed him over. Now Gilbert might be in the sucker hole. Oh boy. As here we go with some pit stops. Torque Wrench guys all coming to pit road at lap 110. This is 77 laps to go. So basically these guys are going to run this race backwards, get to 38 to go, come to pit road, and go all the way the rest of the way. However, you got to remember, there's always overtime potentially. As everybody rolls out. We'll see if anybody else takes this strategy. You see those cars getting lined up in front here to see if they can try to single file their way away from this pack. They get within about a second and a half to 2 seconds. They should be able to suck their way up to that pack of 5 cars. Ooh, 24 get out of shape there a little bit, but those guys did a good job of getting single file really quickly. Gilbert giving that push to the 3 as Joe Wells now out to the front. Of course, these two still in the battle for the overall championship. Wells coming in with a 50-point advantage. Probably would be somewhere near the 40-point number, if not a little lower than 40 now, going into this final stage. So, still plenty of things can happen. Either way, been a great race. Just one multi-car wreck, and that happened just a few minutes ago. But now as we get into the last 74 laps here, the fit's going to hit the Shan. Appreciate everybody coming over to hang out and watch this race here tonight in chat. Watching both groups. Second place car in both lines is kind of pushing along, just keeping the momentum going. Not really seeing the aggressive pushes, but just more keeping them going. But I will say, you notice those cars in front have kind of gotten smaller. So what they are doing up in front here with the torque wrench guys, they are pulling away. The leaders there. Overall, it's about a 44-second difference, but that number is coming down. For those curious, I will be keeping the page up. I'm not going to be deleting the captain page or anything like that off of YouTube, so you'll be able to come back anytime you want and watch any of the videos from previous broadcasts, all the way from the beginning of the network all the way to now. Always feel more than welcome to come back and watch. I'll probably do it myself. Just go back and reminisce and enjoy some nights of racing. Maybe I'll go back and watch Casey Carrington win his first race at Nashville on 2 tires. Or how about talk about the National Association for Stock Car Virtual Racing here in the Bet the Track Masters of the Draft out when Scott Wise went headfirst into the Monza wall. You always ask me, Case. Come on, man. You need to go buy a whole new hard drive for it. Just the box. Just NASCAR racing, you know, just NASCAR racing. Ride with Simon here, 7th position as he pushes along the 25 of Al Likens. And once again, you see the teams kind of coming back together here. And getting in the back of the 25 here, so we start to get single filed out here. Joe Wells now up front. There you see those cars up there. That's the torque wrench guys. I think Joe and everybody's trying to go single file, see if they can go catch those 5 cars. The best situation they can do is go get those 5 cars, lap them, and then a caution comes out. Then 4 of them are stuck and having to take the wave around, and it just kind of puts a little obstacle in front of them. Ryan Wilson now 5th position. He's behind the Shane Ward car. At the top, 9 cars now in the lead draft. Tim Shiflett has lost the draft. He's 35 seconds back. And then the torque wrench guys about 9.5 seconds away from Shiflett. And as I said earlier, they're continuing to knock down this time. I say that, and all of a sudden, somebody else's car I'm looking at, but I thought I saw Joe catching. Yeah, it is them. That's what I thought. I think they are catching now. Yeah, they're getting closer now to this bigger pack. Starting to roll up and catch up with these lap cars. This could get really interesting, especially as we get to the pit stops with the rest of these guys. Race fan, I appreciate the kind words, my friend. Thank you. Very humbling to hear stuff like that. And I go back to those comments I made earlier about the broadcasting and stuff like that. It's like you get stuff like that from people like Race Fan and leagues that have said, hey, Captain, you're better than a lot of the, groups and organizations that have broadcasting and stuff like that. And then there's that little frustration inside of me. I will admit it. That is like, well, how come I never found that chance? But what is? So 55 to go. Still got the one stop for the torque wrench guys. These guys came in right at the edge of the fuel window, to where they will come in with about 38 laps to go, I would expect, and go to the finish. But again, these guys aren't counting the potential overtime that is here. We've only seen 3 cautions, so there's You see the two packs right there. Tim Shiflett with a long stop on pit road, so he has gone back multiple laps down. Rosenberg, we talked to you during the caution period. Of course, you didn't hear a word of it from him, but you heard me. But again, he explained that just having the fun here. He's never ran really these longer races, which this is my bread and butter right here. I love these kind of races. Like, I've run multiple Daytona 500s, multiple the 600s at Charlotte, the Indy 500s. I've done a few of the road races from Le Mans to... wreck, and that's McKinney that is around. And this just put Torque Wrench in a pretty good position. Fourth caution, lap 125, Josh McKinney. Something makes this look like a push gone wrong as Travis Gilbert comes to pit road. Was he involved in this? I'm not sure. We'll have to see what happened here that brings the caution out. Travis blew up. Picklesheimer with damage. I think I saw Wilson with a little bit maybe. Boom. Goes the Dynamite on the 22 here as he's pushing the 3 along. Something tells me that that was a surprising blown motor there, because these guys are pretty good at keeping that in check temperature-wise and stuff. But yeah, right there's the motor going bye-bye. Those on the lead lap on pit road here. As Joe Wells wins the race on pit road, Travis Gilbert already back in his second car, comes out second, but he pitted with the pits closed, so he'll have to restart tail end longest line. Got a break here. I'm going to step away and go get a bottle of water. You guys get yourself something to drink real quickly, as we still got... We had 51 laps to go. I'm sorry, 61 laps to go here from Talladega. So go get something to drink, and we'll come back for the restart here with Joe Wells leading. Ready to go here. 60 laps to go when we get the green flag again. I appreciate again the kind words. It's very cool, man. Yeah, I've got my own opinion on that, and it's like I've been going back and forth in my mind of like wanting to kind of open up about it, and I don't think this is the right place, but I'll just say this. As you know, we live in a world where it's about who you know and what you have available to offer. And that's where I lose, unfortunately. Let's put it like that. All right, coming to the green, 60 to go, and you know what? One final time. Give you the opportunity. Grab your stereos or whatever you have. Your speakers. I just said stereos. Holy 1995. Anyways, let's turn it up. Very cool part about TrackCam's 4 Gourmets, that is their proper name, TrackCams22.com. So many different camera offerings from road to oval. They actually do dirt cars too, like rallycross, stuff like that. They actually have some cool things where you can actually download them and be a spotter. I've used them for spotting for people. Just like you're sitting up in the booth if you're spotting at Talladega. You could be, believe it or not, a fan in the stands watching a race at Talladega. They even have cameras set up on road courses where you can actually be a marshal over in the corner. Like if you're at Sebring or something for a road race. It's kind of a cool thing. Here we are, top of the grandstands here at Talladega, watching them through the tri-oval. We got stuff with VR too, by the way. So really cool deal. TrackCams22.com is their website. Big shout out to Itzvan, who is the gentleman behind. No, Brian Hayes with a save back there. Itzvan does a great job with the cameras. I believe he might be a one-man show, but I was reading his stuff in the forums and reached out to him, and he was more than willing to work with me and stuff, and send a shout out to him. And as I mentioned earlier, the SDK guys, OBS, obviously, for allowing me to, well, they didn't really give me permission. I just download their stuff and use it, but that's obviously the streaming service I use. Of course, YouTube for their stuff. All the different people I did stuff with. Did some stuff with Restream for a little bit. It's just been some great partnerships, and I mean, go back to one of the first people that when I came back to iRacing in 2020 after some time off when my daughter was born and stuff, and McKinney's gonna wreck. He's in the wall. He got the wall the first time. He's still trying to catch it, and now he's spinning around, and around goes Melnick, and we stay green as he's not around anybody. And I think McKinney's still trying to save his car, and Melnick's trying to get the car going. He finally does. Off brake for the one. And the problem is this car has so much power to it, it can easily spin out on you. I mean, that started with McKinney hitting the wall. Unfortunately, Melnick, wrong place, right time. Great job by Melnick to lock it down so he did not get involved in a wreck. Other than just spinning around, didn't tear it up. Bring the 24 to pit road. YouTube, I appreciate you watching, man. Scott Wise up front. Got his crew of drivers from Torque Wrench up there with him. They've been together like glue here all night. They've done a great job working well together. Ryan Wilson there in the 5th position. AJ Condon, Travis Gilbert, Brian Hayes, Al Likens, Dylan Picklesheimer, your top 10. Melnick's now on pit road too, so I wonder if he got a meatball or something. But the strategy gets interesting from here because it is one stop for everybody now on fuel. I've always found the optimum strategy is to be the first car to pit last and get on pit road as soon as that window's open. Because one, you have to fill the car the least amount. You won't need tires. Just take 2 tires, fill up the tank, and you won't need as much gas. And you're good to go to the finish. Get in line and start pushing to try to undercut the pack and get ahead of it. The other way you do it is you want green right about 60 laps to go. Separate this race into 30 laps. Run 30, come to pit road, fill it up, and go on out for the last 30. Of course, the only downfall to doing the first strategy is overtime. If that shows up here, then all of a sudden now you're trying to save fuel. So there's plenty of elements here that can come into play, but the fun part about being in the booth, I don't have to worry about that problem. Ain't my problem. That's one manager once like to say when things like this come up. Sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. At topside with AJ Condon and help from Gilbert. Likens still up there with Picklesheimer. Sam Taylor is now back on the lead lap in the 9 car after that last caution. After he destroyed his Little Caesars car. Just a little bit to go. Got the backup car out and ready to go. And 40 laps in the books, just shy of the 400-mile mark in this race. A race that originally was going to be named the Wise Guy iRacing Graphics 500. With the things happening, Scott and Lauren decided, hey, let's call it the Captain Esports Network 500, which I appreciate very much. A gesture that didn't have to be done, but it is greatly appreciated. Shout out to Wise Guy iRacing Graphics. Scott's paint schemes up here in the front right now. All the Dale schemes. From the Goodrich car to the AC Delco car to the Wheaties car to the Goodrich. Number 4, the car that is slipping my head. The Olympic car, I think that was. You got the 23 Ryan Wilson there in 5th, and then behind him, Brian Hayes in the 47, Dylan Rosenberg in the 91. These guys just being patient. Now they realize this could be the calm before the storm breaks out here. They know this is their last hurrah to get a victory this season. Scott Wise talked about before the race. It's his last chance to get a win in the season, to have two wins. He's had wins multiple times. He's only had one this season. That came at the iRace. So as he gets turned sideways. Good save on his part. Thompson trying to help him along, and unfortunately gets loose, and now Al Likens going to take to the bottom. This might just woke up the sleeping dog, if you know what I mean. That's what happens in the turn 3 here. Just fortunately a bad push from Thompson to Wise. So great save on everybody's part. As we continue green, and now Likens now to the front. As now the TNT guy showing some speed. Who's going to win this race? There's so many cars still in the running, and this is the fun part of it, because you always worry, just from the history of long distance races like this in iRacing, you always come down to like 2 or 3 cars that are still in the lead lap, undamaged and stuff, but we still have 14 cars in the lead lap. I mean, Shane Ward and Joe Wells unfortunately have lost the lead draft, but 12 are right here and still capable of winning this race. Come up on the back of Stephen Melnick, who about to lose his first lap here after his little spin around. You see the numbers here, right? They're going to give him plenty of room. Melnick's just going to run the bottom here. Window is just about there, another 5 laps or so, and we should be easily in the window to go to the checkered flag on fuel. It's just that question of what's overtime have in store for us tonight. Ryan Wilson, Brian Hayes back up in the top 5. Just amazing to see the different varieties of cars just pulling up into the pack and getting in the front and falling back and then hanging out a little bit and working their way back up and falling back to the middle, kind of hanging out a little bit and back to the back. And look at Scott Wise now. With help from Thompson, who has not left his rear bumper, even though they almost got together a little bit ago. He has helped Wise get back to the front in this race. And thank you, viewers, for hanging out here as we get past the 11 o'clock hour on the East Coast. Of course, you might wonder why there was a weekday race at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time going 500 miles. And one thing you got to remember is it's very easy to forget when you're a driver only. You got to think about that West Coast. Obviously, 8:30 start time for here would be a 5:30 start time their time. But you know, they might be just getting home from work, but still gives them a shot to get there on time without being too late for the guys from the East Coast. So hence why we started at 8:30 tonight. But, we've had a real good pace here so far. Just the 4 cautions, 38 laps to go, exactly 100 miles left in this race. Gilbert now going to the front, so it's like everybody's just rotating the lead. And what has been a very fun race, very entertaining to watch. We see some 3 wide, so contact. Likens and Hayes come together. And both are going to keep it going. It's Gilbert and Taylor and Wise in that outside lane. I was starting to wonder if the inside line was coming to the pits because they were pretty low off the corner, but now just Wise is wrapping a yellow line. I would expect these next 2 or 3 laps would be when these guys come to pit road. just minding their P's and Q's still, which is the impressive part, because this was, I think, where a few of us actually worried, including myself, about how people would drive. You might get the aggression out of people, but everybody's been patient. I mean, there's been a couple little hiccups. That happens. Ooh, we're getting all types of sideways now. As Tyler Brewer checking in. I appreciate it, Tyler. Thank you, man. One of the nicest guys out there. Just became a dad again, so congratulations on that, Tyler. Tyler, by the way, lives in the North Pole, basically. If you don't believe me, reach out to him. He'll tell you. Oh, that's tight. Oh, that's tight. I didn't know if they'd have room there, but they made room. You know, I don't think Lauren would mind. Scott and them would mind. So I want to give a shout to... Try to see if I can do this off the top of my head here. Hey, at least you don't have to worry about the guy sitting on the girls type thing. You just got to worry about having to talk with the boys here in a couple years. But here, shout out to all the leagues that I got to cover. I'm going to try to remember them all here within 5 years. Of course, GLSR. Of course, that's Tyler and those guys there from the start, pretty much me coming back in 2020. Of course, before that, I raced more than anything, and I did some broadcasting here and there. But GLSR came on board, and them and TI for all the way up to now, almost TI, obviously, a little before that. As you see the Torqued Wrench guys leaving pit road. Fuel only, it looks like, for all of them. No, actually, they might have taken 2 tires at least. Their window's open there, 34 to go. They come to pit road, so I like that call. Nobody else on pit road yet. All-American with Casey Carrington, I mentioned a little bit ago. Sim 500 covered them for 3 years, for multiple days a week. Shout out to Joey Jattina and those guys. Of course, TI with Chris Lewis, I mentioned. Let's see who else did I cover. Oh, man, I got to remember all these now. Here's where I start to lose it a little bit. Of course, we had my own league that I did for a while. Oh, Short Track Super League. Michael Steffen. Mike Steffen. Good dude there. And from the Short Track League. The Dirt Leagues, there's a few I covered, helped out with. A couple times I did some special events for people and things. So, again, thank you to all those guys. Thank you to everybody. And then, of course, last but not least here, thank you to BPRL/ the Masters of the Draft here at the National Association for Stock Car Virtual Racing. And Lauren and Scott have been awesome. And I'm going to stay in contact with them even when I'm off here. And they're great people. And I'm going to remember my fun times of being a broadcaster and my racing times when I was, pardon my language, a pain in the ass to Lauren. Oh, I'm proud. I should have been kicked out of the league racing-wise. Easily should have been kicked out. But somehow they put up with me. And here comes, there goes the cone. Wilson got it. See if he's able to clear himself and be okay here as everybody comes to pit road. The front 7, a couple teams here. TNT and the G Lightning guys. Let's see what they do. We're going to keep an eye on that 23 and see if he gets a penalty or not. Yeah, he's going to get a penalty, so he's still there in his pit stall. Everybody else rolling away. And looks like either 2 or 4 tires in fuel, and here comes the Torqued Wrench guys. Here's that race. This is where the pack I talked about Could these 5 cars get organized enough to get away here? Let's see. Oh, they got a pretty good start here. They're going to get the momentum on Gilbert. See what Gilbert does here. Gilbert kept it fairly clean. He could have easily have kind of squeezed him a little bit trying to side draft, but he's going to have the 2 cars behind him to help them out, but it looks like it's going to come down to these 8 cars. Al Likens, unfortunately, a slower stop. He's going to lose the draft. AJ Condon loses the draft. Ryan, now these cars could come back together, and that could help them. This is a pretty good pack of 5 right here. What a... And this goes back to... I've said this all season. You go back and watch the races. I've said this a lot. I've always felt, and I learned this from running in another league, a Superspeedway league on the weekend back last year and 2 years ago. It always seemed like the cars that would pit first the last time would find a way, if they could get organized down to pit road and go, find their way ahead of the pack. And that's exactly what has just happened here with the torque wrench guys. And now they're 1, 2, 3, a quasi 4, and 5. With 28 laps to go next time by. Thanks, Casey. I appreciate that, man. James, appreciate that. Sorry about your luck tonight, buddy. And Casey, I'm going to probably, yeah, matter of fact, I won't get off Discord or anything. I'll make sure you have my number or something so we can stay in contact or whatever. Yeah, I can always, you know, if you ever need help with, like, some advice or something I can help you with, I'm always going to be around. I mean, ooh, Greg, hold on. Ooh, that almost got ugly. I don't mind staying in contact with people. With 27 laps to go. What has been the final pit stops? Who? Can get themselves back up to this pack of 5 cars and potentially win this race. 2 seconds back from Jason Branch is these 3 cars: Travis Gilbert, Sam Taylor, and the 12 of Dylan Picklesheimer. I would say that these 3 are the only 3, unless a yellow comes out, that can catch these 5, and they are going to have to push hard. I think Dylan is going to have the toughest bet to do here, because you're going to have 2 cars pushing, and Dylan's got really nothing to work off of other than the slipstream here. If Dylan can stay up close to the 9, you don't want to push the pusher. Like, get up there close enough where it kind of boosts him a little bit. You might be able to make this work. I mean, you only really got to knock off about a half a second. If you can knock off about a half a second, then you should be able to start to sniff the back of the 23 car at the end of this pack and get to them. And when you do, you're going to have a big run. But they just lost a 10th here on this lap, so they've got some work to do. As Scott Wise leading this race from the pole, does he have a chance to jump up there and win the Gen 6 championship? I'm going to go ahead and answer that probably by saying no, because one of the guys he's racing for it is right behind him in second and was the points leader entering this race. Of course, you do got to look at Travis Gilbert did get a really big points jump in the stage race against Greg Thompson. So it's going to be very close between Gilbert and Thompson for the Gen 6 championship. But you know what? I look at this time by, those guys really didn't give up anything. So they're still in it. I'm not going to say no, never until never here. 24 laps to go. In fact, I'll put the map up here and let you guys see where these pack of cars are. So the leaders are right here in turn 1, up here where you see the 28 on the screen. And then the 22, that is Travis Gilbert. That's how close it is. We must have had some issues or something here, because I've looked up now all of a sudden. I'm looking over my telemetry and this pack broke up. Ryan Wilson had some issues. And this train's going to go by. This might be exactly what the doctor ordered for Gilbert and the guys. Happen. Let's see. Whoa, Drift had to go catch her. The reason why we call him Drift. So another bump draft gone wrong. And it broke the pack apart. And Drift gonna be the big loser, because not only did he lose the main draft, but now has lost the second set of cars too, and Drift is all the way back here by himself now. He's joined up with Ryan Wilson in the 8th position. And we now have a 7-car battle for the lead. Ooh, tough break for Drift. And now here goes the racing. Rosenberg to the... Ooh, he chopped the nose of Scott. As Gilbert made the move. Business has picked up officially here. The vet to track car, the vet to track driver to the front as Gilbert back to single file now for a second, as here comes Wise and Thompson again. Of course, big shout out to Vet to Track, the sponsors of the Masters of the Draft Series. Helping veterans get back on track via specialized motorcycles. Helping out battling PTSD 1 lap at a time. As I mentioned earlier, that 22 on that car, that is the number of veterans we lose each day due to suicide. PTSD is no joke. I'll go ahead and say it. I'm not even a veteran, and I suffer from some PTSD of kinds. Trust me, it affects a lot of us. So, and I'm just a regular human being that has just gone through the normal struggles of life. So I can only imagine what a veteran goes through. It's probably 30 times worse than me. So, if you see a veteran, tell them thank you. Tell them they are not alone and they are appreciated. veterans that are actually in this series. Scott Wise, Greg Thompson, just to name a couple. I know there's in here, but those are the main ones I know about. And interesting, Gilbert's got the topside choo-choo going here. This car's not like the next-gen car, though. You can do that in the next-gen car. This car, you can actually get the draft, pull out of line, and make a pass. But if he's got everybody cooperating with him, I mean, this could be interesting here. Seven cars behind him here pull out on Gilbert. He's going to the back. That's only, I mean, the Gen 7 car, or the next gen car, that's one you can run like this and be okay and not worry about getting shuffled. But they are the fastest pack here on the track still, so nobody's catching them. Drift back here on his own with Ryan Wilson. Wilson officially 14th. He is at least a lap down. Al Likens back here with A.J. Condon and Brian Hayes. They're trying to make some hayway here. I mean, they're catching drift slowly. Uh-oh. Josh McKinney is on pit road. Not sure what's going on there. And Joe Wells and Shane Ward back here about a 10th off. And Joe, 12th position. Gilbert in the lead here. Gilbert said he had no chance of catching Joe. He thought in the overall point standings. Could this actually happen? Car's getting ever so close to the wall. Jones on pit road. Yeah, everybody should be good for gas, Bliss. Everybody should be good for gas. You know, I look over here at the pit stops, 157 for the leaders, 154 for Rosenberg and the Torque Wrench guys, so that's only 34 laps, so you're saving up to make 34 laps, especially running single file like this. Gilbert, we've been at 157, so he's only got to go 31 laps. It's going to get to a point, though, where I think you cannot protect the top anymore. You got to protect the bottom. The question is, if you're Sam or Dylan, when do you play the checker piece here or the chess piece here and try to make the move before Gilbert does? And then you got to wonder, where does Dylan or Scott go? $13 to go. You don't see, oh, here we go. Yep, right on cue. Travis to the bottom. This is that point where he's got to protect down here now. Or is he going to run the old qualifying line? Ah! And now we're going to mix it up a little. Well, no, maybe not. Well, Rosenberg's going to get shuffled a little bit. For a time period, you had to run. So now Travis is really mixing it up. See, I think at this point, I mean, you got teammates right behind with 9 and 12. You got 31, 08, 28, all teammates. And there's Rosenberg to the bottom. I go ahead and drop to the bottom here. If Gilbert's going to do that kind of thing, go to the bottom and go to the top and weave a little bit, just go to the bottom. Because all Rosenberg needs to do is what they call island hopping in the Cup Series car, where you get up there and you side draft, pull the car back, and then you drop all the way to the bottom and then try to slide all the way back up. Hey, Brad, just like this, except he didn't pull the 24 back. Look at this move right here. See if he brings anybody with him. He's got 2 cars, trying to get a 3rd car. He passed 1. He's got to get Shiflett closer to him to make that move work. He's got to be able to get to the back bumper of that 28 and literally get to his left rear and pull him back. Oh, he went to the top side. Oh, he's going. Wow. Oh, easy. Here we go. Boys, the storm is beginning up here in the front. Nine laps to go. Remember, we do have overtime if needed, which then the fuel mileage becomes a question. Hicklesheimer, oh, nice move by Scott. Oh, Dylan got the help, though. Branch needs to come down. Very surprised by that move. Thompson's there with Wise. I mean, I'm just thinking from the teammate standpoint there, thought Branch would have pulled down. He did not. Now he comes down to get Scott. So maybe that was what the plan was, or not really a plan, but the thinking is. So now you got the 12 and the 9. They're separated. 22 and the 22. It's just him up here with the G Lightning guys, and then you got pretty much the Torque Wrench guys. They're 8 seconds back. AJ Condon 6 seconds back, so they're nowhere near the action here. However, Condon does have Hayes and Lycan in tow in case something happens. Ward and Joe Wells kind of in their own little pack of 2. It's all these guys right here battling it out with 7 to go. Ryan Wilson, Tim Shiflett, Stephen Melnick, Josh McKinney all on track with laps down. James Hudson, Dusty White off the track and out of the race. 6 to go. Now you got to wonder who's going to work with who here. Does the 9 pull down with the 12? If he does, the 22 probably comes down with him. But those are teammates there. But you know what? The bottom line's kind of falling apart again here. Ooh, Scott Wise into the wall. McKinney's a teammate of the 22. Should mention that. He's a lap down, but still will help. As the 12 gets shuffled. As Taylor, and they wreck. The 9's in the wall, and Taylor spins around, bringing a caution out. And the race has just begun. Rance gets clipped on in Gilbert T-bone steak. These guys should have resets easily. See if we can get this from the crash cam. You see the 22 coming down. You see the 9 and the inside line even slightly start up the track a little bit. And then obviously Scott gives the bump to the 9. And that really shoves them up the track. And I think they just all come together, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know how else to put that. And we should, you know what? I think we're going overtime. As we do got cars on pit road getting fuel and tires here. Oh boy. There's a reason why I've always said you want to try to be there at the end of the race, because you never know that curveball that's going to get thrown. And now, if you're on the lead lap, your car is clean, you now have a chance to win this race. And I'm looking over at, see, Ryan Wilson looks like got the lucky dog. So I'm seeing 12 cars right now with a chance. And if another yellow comes out, you know, you could be looking at 13, but 12 cars with a chance to win this race now because they kept themselves alive. And trust me, I'm not perfect or anything by any realm of the imagination, but I just preach from somebody who's been there at the end of these races and what I've had to do to survive them. right, so we should get one to go this time by, which will put us in overtime officially. You know, and after the race, we'll talk with the Gen 6 champion. We'll talk to our top 3 finishers, unless you're mixed in there. And then we'll talk to our overall champion, the master of the draft. We can get 2 opportunities on a green-white checker. This will be one. One more chance after this. They get back to the white flag. The gloves are off, and it's time to go at that point. Gilbert and Taylor both must have used resets up, because, well, I know Taylor obviously did because he had a destroyed car earlier, but Gilbert must have, because he's on pit road for 3.5 minutes also, and his race looks like is over, along with Sam Taylor. So with Gilbert out of the race, it is official that Joe Wells has won the championship in the overall vet to track. Master of the draft is officially Joe Wells. Congratulations to him. Now the question is, can Greg Thompson finish out a championship in the Gen 6 car? That's a tough break for Travis. Had a great race there, and then everything happened at the end. As here we go, overtime to settle it out in the Captain Esports Network 500. Thompson gets a good push, and oh, the 37 cars back together up top, the 25 and 12. Likens and Picklesheimer. You got 3 torqued wrench cars at the bottom. Oh, and around goes the 91 of Dylan Rosenberg. And caution back out. We try it again. What happened to Dylan? Turned, it looks like, and got the wall. Let's see if we can get a better view of this. Dylan opened up the door a little bit there, and Branch put his nose in. That's one of those, you can't blame Branch. I mean, he's racing too for the win here. And Dylan opened the door up there. He tried to close it back, and unfortunately, Branch was there. All right. One last chance to do it. So I think everybody's good to go fuel-wise. Obviously, Thompson and Wise put it at 154. They're at 189 now. That's 35 laps. So they should be good to go the rest of this way. Likens obviously just came to pit road. Picklesheimer, I don't see anybody having issues with fuel other than those front three, but I'm pretty sure they're have enough knowledge of saving fuel. They should be okay here. But Joe Wells, obviously, he's got himself the overall championship. He is the master of the draft for 2025. Now the question is, can he go put the exclamation point on and get the win? One to go this time. Greg Thompson, who did not win a race in this block, however, has racked up the most bonus points. Top fives and all that good stuff, looking to win not only this, but the Gen 6 championship. Teammate Scott Wise on his outside. Drift there on the inside, both teammates of the other two. Then you have Al Likens, and then you have Dylan Picklesheimer. Then you got Brian Hayes, all teammates there. Joe Wells, AJ Cotton, and Shane Ward, all teammates there. I mean, you're going to have three teams up here battling it out for the win. The problem is, this is the second and last green-white checker. Do they get back and get one lap in, or does it end in what has been a very entertaining race? We cannot let what is, in the end, a typical Superspeedway finish, let that affect the fact that this has been a lot of fun tonight to cover and to do. Thompson gets a big jump. You almost wonder, are they trying to trap the 12 car and these others back? Thompson moves up to pick up Wise. As everybody's scattered around. Oh, I see what's about to happen. They haven't wrecked yet, now they reckon. They can stay down. Oh, caution's out. And drift. Is in the lead. Jacob Gladulich, aka Drift. About to score the win. He's ran part-time all season. For a second, I was like, man, are they going to save that? And they didn't. We'll get a replay here in a second. Over 500 miles of racing. It came down to a couple of overtimes, and in the end, survival of the fittest. Jacob Gladulich, aka Drift, a driver out of Georgia, comes to Alabama and sees the checkered flag in the winner of the Captain Esports Network 500. And another win for the Torqued Wrench guys as Joe Wells, he crosses the line and officially is the master of the draft in 2024 and 2025. And unofficially should be Greg Thompson, the champion of the Gen 6 block. There's this one challenge that I now have between now and the time I get off here. It is a challenge I have had for years. And I wonder for this one night, will it finally happen? I have never, to my knowledge, if I can remember, gotten Drift to talk on the air. I've never gotten it to happen. He will usually shoot a message over here in chat. That'll be his interview. Everybody do burnouts. Yeah, I think Drift's going to do a little Polish victory lap. Nothing wrong with that. Let Drift do that, and there's your champion celebrating. New Corvette throwback. Joe might be out of gas. No, he just filled up, so he's good. He might have blown her up, though. And Greg, he's doing a regular victory lap, unwind lap. Everybody's going everywhere. take a look at the finishing order. Griff wins it under caution. Dylan Picklesheimer second. Joe Wells third. Greg Thompson should win the waiting for official, which should be the champion of the Gen 6 block. Shane Ward fifth. That's going to leave a mark. Scott Wise sixth. Jason Branch seventh. Dylan Rosenberg eighth. Al Likens ninth. Oh, that's going to leave a bigger mark. And Ryan Wilson 10th. AJ Condon 11th. Brian Hayes 12th. Melnick 13th. Tim Shiflett 14th. And Josh McKinney 15th. Travis Gilbert, Sam Taylor, James Hudson, Dusty White. In the end, that car's destroyed. All right. So we talked to the drivers. Let them kind of settle here for a second. Let's talk to, we'll talk to our second place finisher first. As we'll go ahead and bring Dylan up here. It's obviously going to be a little bit of a wonky order talking here. But Dylan, obviously a second place finish in what was a pretty wild race. Pretty good race, obviously. And then Superspeedway stuff happened at the end. But obviously a lot of teamwork in this race we noticed. And you come home with a second place finish.
Yeah, man, I was really excited about that P2. I really wanted to get an interview up here with your last broadcast, man. That's what I strived for all night, and we got her done, man. We appreciate you so much, man. This was all for you the whole season, man. We enjoyed this long race. It was long, it was tiring, but P2, and I'll take it and be happy.
How hard was it to be patient at times, knowing that, look, we still had like 50 or 100 or whatever it was laps to go in this race? Like, man, I want to go, but you're better off just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, for sure. There was times where, like, that first run where we were all trying to save gas, I was just like, whatever, I'm going to lead. And I think it was me in the 47. We kind of pulled away there for a minute, and I kind of just set the pace. And yeah, I mean, this car, I hate to say it, but it sucks. I've just compared to the Gen 4, it just sucks so bad, and it just overheated way too much. It was still a fun race. It was one of the fun it was a good time. I'm stuttering in here, man. But I really hope we don't go back to this car next year for the final at least. But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Well, it's still a great effort, obviously, on your end. And team-wise, I mean, you guys had a great middle stretch of the season. Of course, you picked up a championship in the Gen 4 car. And, yeah, obviously, you and Al, a great season for the both of you guys. And even, Sam had a great run going there for a little bit until some things happened. So, but obviously, TNT, I know you guys didn't get the team championship as you guys probably wanted to, but obviously still a successful season.
Yeah, for sure. Joe and Travis kind of just took that away from everybody. So I don't know where we ended. Hopefully P2, because, I mean, that's basically a win with how much they were ahead. But, yeah, TNT, we'll hope to be back next year. It's been fun this year. We didn't really dominate as much. We won the block last year. We didn't do as good this year, but been fun, and can't wait for the next one.
Well, great job, man. Congratulations. Send some shout-outs.
I want to shout out you again, because this is crazy that it's your last one. Man, you do really good at these broadcasts. We were going to miss you, and hopefully we'll get you in here racing some next year, possibly. But I want to shout out my wife, my mom, my dad, my father-in-law. Got to keep him in there. TNT, all them boys. I got to shout out Daryl. His mom passed away this weekend, and he's been going through it. And that P2 was for you, Bubba. I hope everything works out for you. But take care, man. Hopefully see you around in the Discord. Take care out there, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And Daryl, obviously, thoughts and prayers with you. I know he was in chat earlier, I believe, checking in and stuff. So I appreciate the kind words there, and obviously I'll share the sentiment to Daryl there. So appreciate it, Dylan.
Yep, thank you.
You too, buddy. As Dylan Picklesheimer finishes second position for him. Here we go. Can I get the challenge? We're going to find out right now. So we gonna let it happen?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Last broadcast, might as well.
Hey man, welcome to Victory Lane. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Talk about the race there. Obviously, you and the Torque Wrench guys just worked hard and did a great job of just staying together as a team.
Yeah, I was just here for Greg to get the block, and I ended up winning the race. So.
How wild was it? Because you are one just like me. We like to ride in the back a little bit, so you had to do a little bit different than what you're used to. But to be able to,
yeah, I just ride in the back behind Greg. Pat. That's it.
Well, obviously, man, I know you got to be pretty happy to win a long distance race like this, because this is the kind of race you like.
Yeah.
Well, great job, man. Send some shout outs.
Thank you for broadcast, and thank Scott and Lauren for the hosting the races.
Absolutely, buddy. Great job, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You too, buddy. That is Drift. I got him to talk. That's cool. Obviously, good guy. He's a good dude. I've talked to him plenty of times off the air and stuff, and actually lived right down the road from each other at one point. All right. Happy for him. Now let's talk to our champions, shall we? And our let's talk to the block champion, which I believe is Greg. I'm going to go ahead and get him up here and assume that he won this championship, because I don't think there was any way for him to lose it at this point.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
I do too. As Greg wins this unofficially, I'm pretty sure you've got it, because I mean, unless my Florida math kicks in. Greg, you are the Gen 6 champion here, so congratulations, man. It's got to be a good feeling.
Oh yeah, I really wanted to win the race, actually, but it is what it is there. But I hate it for Travis getting killed like that at the end. I mean, that just kind of sucks. I mean, it was fun racing up there, but I mean, our team had a strategy, and every time we played the strategy, and we would get the first one, we got 11 seconds out of everybody. Caution comes out, and we're like, oh, come on, So, I mean, we had the strategy set down, and then everybody started picking up on it, I think. So I think the very last pit stop, when we short pitted, I think everyone else saw that, and they started pitting a couple laps after us.
Yeah, it was one of those where I kept saying, it seems like in a super speedway race, it's always best to be the first one to pit last. And my main worry for you guys is, if that race went green, did you have enough for overtime? Because you guys pitted right at that 38 to go mark, and I'm like, ooh, that's right at that number, right at the high number.
Yeah.
But it worked out. Got the caution in the end, which, like you said, it was unfortunate Travis was in it, but it set you guys up to be able to get those overtime laps saved up.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was saving gas. I mean, I had pretty much about 6 gallons at the end of the race. So at the very end of the race, I had about 2.5 gallons left, even after burning it down.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, I had enough to probably do another green white checker had we had it.
Well, obviously a great run for you and the team. Obviously, this Gen 6 car, I mean, you said back at the beginning of the block here 4 weeks ago that this car was something you loved racing, and when it comes to super speedways, and you definitely showed it during that block. But what a dominant effort for the team.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I got to hit on what Dylan was talking about earlier in his interview, is that the car doesn't suck, but the overheating sucks. I mean, it would heat up so fast, but then it would cool down slow. So you could push about 1/3 of a lap, and then you had to cool it off 2/3 of a lap.
Right.
So, and it was really, really hard to get it to cool down. So, I mean, it was amazing that when we got that 11-second lead and we were just gone, it was just amazing that they couldn't catch us, because I thought that they would be pushing a lot harder than that. But it all worked out. Like I said, that's the only thing bad about this car, is the overheating problem. Other than that, I don't have a problem with it. I love this car.
Well, obviously a great job here during this Gen 6 block. Congratulations on winning the championship here in this final part. and actually got yourself a win this season. Got all those bonus points were big for you during this block. But man, send some shout outs whoever you like to.
Well, I'd like to shout out to my wife. Let me do this, and because we just flew in from Dallas today because we spent the weekend up in Dallas, so I was almost not going to make it depending on the airplane because we landed and I got here with about 30 minutes to go in practice, so I made it. But I do want to shout out to Torque Wrench Motorsports and Scott for throwing this on, and for you, Chris. Man, you done an excellent job all season putting this thing on, and I hope you liked Torque Wrench's cars because we did that for you.
Nah, it was definitely cool to see, man, and appreciate it. And now, good to see you had a safe trip back from the Big D, and now you can go celebrate the championship and get some sleep.
Yep. All right. We'll catch you later, Chris.
Too,
have
buddy.
A good one.
Yes, sir. You too. Greg Thompson, the champion of the Gen 6 block and also the fourth place finisher here tonight. But let's go to Vet to Track Victory Lane, which technically is usually for the winner of the race, so we can call that for Drift 2, but also the Vet to Track Victory Lane would be for the champion of the series. And that's where we'll find Mr. Wells celebrating with his team.
The champ is here! The champ is here!
Yeah, he's already changed his intro, apparently.
That's last year's intro from when I won the championship the first time, so I had to bring it back. I've been strategically waiting for that one.
I see that. Well done. Congratulations, as you are the 2024-2025 Master of the Draft.
Thank you very much, Chris. It feels, man, after 24 weeks and 23 races counting towards it, and all the chaos and all that, I mean, I'm elated. I mean, G Lightning as a whole, I mean, just to get a team championship for the team that I created as well, and have all these guys that are just class act members of our team, and I'm so beyond grateful and just over the moon happy right now to win it again.
There was a time where you were running about, 12th, 13th or so, and Travis is up in the lead, and I'm like, is this really about to happen? Is Joe about to, I didn't want to use the choke word, but it was. I'm like, man, is Travis about to steal this thing away? With that? I assume that crossed your mind.
Yeah, I mean, listen. At the end of the day, Travis is my brother and a fantastic teammate, and I know, at G Lightning Motors we preach the team aspect, and that is the number one thing that we focus on when driving on track, and I think with that it allows Travis and I to be competitive but understand where we need to be and respectful on track, because I mean, Travis didn't think points wise it was possible going in today. I know it's definitely possible. I'm not ashamed to admit that he's the best driver in this league and beyond. He's the best driver. I mean, you win 7-8 races in a season, he's a dog. So I was looking at it. I was looking at the points. I was looking at the weeks that I lost 60 points to him at once or whatnot, and you don't want to think about it, but you psych yourself out. So I'm of course doing math, and and at the end of the day, the champion was going to be G Lightning Motors driver, and that's what I cared about the most. I mean, I wouldn't have been upset if I got second. Travis deserves it just as much, and having him on my team is truly a blessing. So I know when I was running in 12th there, it got awkward because I think it was a non-caution that happened, and two cars got into it, and Shane and I are pretty much just kind of left on our own island and running it. And I was looking at the standings, seeing who was getting up front and what was happening, and every 5 laps I get a notification saying, oh, they're wrecking in the trial, or they're wrecking in turn 3, and I'm like, oh no, they're not. That's a lie. So it was definitely on my mind. I know getting that first lap led was a big momentum boost for me in terms of the points, and then getting good stages and stuff like that as well. So a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. That's for dang sure.
He's like, who's coding this stuff anyways? Well, great job, and man, send some shout out to whoever you like to. Man,
Chris, I have a list if you have a moment, man.
Absolutely.
So G Lightning Motors, all of my brothers at G Lightning Motors, again, just want to say thank you for collectively coming together across both teams. I think we finished third in the standings for our second team, but overall, guys, thank every single one of you. I cannot thank you guys enough. I mean, for me to be able to create G Lightning Motors with Krishan, I think 3 years ago now, and to build it up into what it's been with about 75 plus active members here in this league as well. Every single one of you guys, I can't thank enough. I have a short list just of the drivers that raced this season, but I want to make sure you guys get your credit where it's due. Kaiser, big love you, brother. Thank you for tuning in. Krishan, co-founder of G Lightning Motors, man. Can't thank you enough for being there as well. I know you had to leave earlier in the season, but we miss you. Eddie and Brady, I know you guys couldn't be here tonight, but I appreciate you guys watching. I know you guys are watching and rooting for all of us over here, so thank you guys. And then to my brothers here in the race, we had Shane, Josh, we had AJ, and then most importantly, we have Travis. Love all of you guys. Can't thank you enough for the commitment that you gave G Lightning Motors. It truly, truly means the world to me. Moving on from G Lightning Motors, guys, I know Bruce at Setman Custom Karts. Give him a shout out every time I can. I know he's watching. He watched every single race this season, Chris, and having a supporter and having a friend like that is a great thing to have. So if you guys are looking to get some golf carts, not a Vivid EV, but if you're looking to get some golf carts, go check out Setman's Custom Karts up in Delaware. Derek at frontstretch.com. Those guys have blessed me beyond words over the course of the past year, from when I got to meet them, from the work that I've been able to do inside of NASCAR, real NASCAR, not iRacing. All starts with Derek and frontstretch.com. So thank you guys again for watching. I love you guys to pieces. Jake, I know you're out there watching as well, so thank you. Then there's a couple more homies. I know this is going on a tangent here, but DJ, Tom, I know you guys are out there watching. John as well. Thank you guys for tuning in all the time and chatting with Chris in the chat and everything. It really means a lot to have support from my friends that I'm no longer living nearby. Big thank you to my girlfriend that allows me to do all these things and be able to race. And, you know, most girls would get upset about it if you're spending too much time in the sim rig. And she knows it's my escape. So I'm really thankful to have her on my side. And then wrapping it up here, Scott, Lauren, thank you guys for a great season. There's a lot of hiccups, ups and downs, but we got through it. Really glad to have been a part of it. Thank you guys for having G Lightning Motors and all of us. And then now the most important one, and I know, Chris, you're waiting for it, but Chris, brother, thank you, man. Thank you for 24 great weeks this season of broadcasting. We truly, every single one of us on track, man, we love you. We appreciate you. We can't thank you enough for the dedication and the effort you give this league. You most certainly do not have to at all. And the fact that you still did, and you blessed us with us being the last of it, really appreciate you, man. I know you like to keep it under wraps, and it might be 12 minutes past the hour, but happy birthday as well. Happy birthday as well. I wanted to make sure all the G Lightning guys had your logo on top of the roof today, so I hope you saw that on stream. And, really glad I got a chance to talk to you one last time up here in the booth.
Oh, absolutely, man. No, it's been a pleasure. I appreciate the kind words, and I've done lost my train of thought now. I'm tired. So, great job.
Dude, it was a long race,
man.
Nah,
you earned it, man. Great job tonight, and obviously go celebrate with the team, and be safe, and we'll stay in contact.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate all of you guys. Raise hell, praise Dale.
Absolutely. Joe Wells, the Corvette throwback number 3 car. That is the champion officially of the Masters of the Draft, presented by Vet to Track, and of course we spoke to him in Vet to Track Victory Lane. As congratulations to him, and yeah, all that team. Obviously, G Lightning winning the team championship. We'll show you the points here in just a moment of how it all wraps up in the end. Let's look at our Hard Charger Award for tonight. Dylan Picklesheimer up 16 positions from 18th. I'll have to see if that's... I don't know if it's going to be official or not, because I think he didn't... If he did not get a qualifying lap in, then it will not count for him. It's either going to be him, or if I'm seeing this right, Tim Shiflett down here in 14th. I don't think he got a qualifying lap in. So Jason Branch gained 3 spots? Wow, that's actually interesting. One guy 16 plus, the rest of them 5. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so it might be Jason Branch in the end. So a couple choices there potentially for Superior Template Hard Charger Award. Oh, man. All right. Let's give some more shout-outs real quickly here. GB22 Designs, of course, with Joe Wells. Big shout to him for sponsoring the Pole Award this season. Of course, Wise Guy iRacing Graphics for sponsoring the stage winner and also the sponsor of tonight's race, even though they changed the name to the Captain eSports Network 500. Big shout out to Wise Guy iRacing Graphics. And, of course, to the main sponsor of the series, which is Vet to Track, helping out veterans get out on the track and on a circuit, basically, in specialized bikes and stuff. So big shout out to Travis and Vet to Track for what they do. So I know it's gonna be a lot of disappointed people and a lot of happy celebrating people. But let's take a look at the point standings here. Officially, Gen 6. It is Greg Thompson, the champion, by 32 over Travis Gilbert. Branch 35 back. Scott Wise 42 back. And I look over here at this right side again. If you remember, this number was a big separation between Greg and Travis. 67 to 59. Travis with a big bonus night. Unfortunately, finishing 16th will do you in the end. So, congrats to Greg on getting that. Overall point standings going to be kind of shrunk here, but Joe Wells does win it by 92 over Travis, Shane Ward, Scott Wise, Jason Branch, your top 5. And then in the team championship realm, it is G Lightning holding off Torque Wrench, who had a big second part there as they finished second. And then the G Lightning Motorsports team third, TNT, R&R, and down to SMT, unfortunately, finishing 10th in points. So, yeah. All right. There we go. What a run it has been here in the series. I know Scott and them got a lot of things that they're working on for 2025 and 2026. So, obviously, you got their Discord page and stuff. They'll keep you up to date with what's going on there with the Masters of the Draft series into the future. So, all right. I got to go to bed. So, I'm going to get off. Oh, man. Yep. As Casey Carrington said, hell of a run. Like I said, 2020, I came back. I was on off and on during between 2012 and 2017, doing some streaming, filling in for Nordgaard, who got me going into this whole thing, and Rudy Cummings, believe it or not, from Max Speed TV, went and started his own thing and did a phenomenal job with that, and still is. And it's very cool to be able to have my own little part here in iRacing. So there's a lot that I can sit here and talk about, and maybe I'll do a video and we can just talk about it and stuff, but we'll see. But otherwise, it's been a lot of fun. I appreciate Casey. I appreciate all the viewers, all the leagues, as I mentioned before, from National Association of Stock Car Virtual Racing, BPRL, Sim 500, All-American, GLSR, TI, Chris Lewis. Thank you for, this computer, it's still going, and I thought I was having issues with it, but here the last few weeks I've actually had crisp streams because of some couple of buttons I fixed. So Jim Herrick from 40 Raceware, thank you to him. He helped with me getting this upgraded computer that allowed me to go for this long. Two fantastic people there. Joey Jatina from Sim 500, thank you for those couple years. There's gonna be people I miss here, and it sucks. All my friends and stuff on there, I'll be in contact with them, and because I don't know what I'm gonna do with Discord yet. I'm likely gonna leave Discord, but I'm just not sure when or how I'm gonna go all that, because I'm just gonna go to bed and take a breath. and Scott and Lauren, obviously you guys, last but not least, I appreciate you guys allowing me to come back. Like I said, back before that one caution, Lauren could have easily booted me out of the league, how much I raged over things, because I was just an idiot at that point. But to trust me to come back and always do the broadcast and stuff, it's much appreciated. And like I said, one for the viewers and one for the drivers and all the cool people here. I wouldn't have done it, but we've done it and we move on. So thank you everyone for being a part of this. And as I said, yeah, I'm going to let it happen. I'm going to let Casey get the last word. So, time to go be a family man. Time to step away. Time to go do my thing. And there's one reason why. Because iRacing in the end is just a game. But the rest of this is life. See ya.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain eSports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a special presentation.
From the Captain eSports Network.